Hey my Legion, how y'all doing today? Sharknado 4, long awaited. We waited 1 year, or maybe a little over a year, for the new Sharknado movie. So Sharknado 4, the fourth awakens, instead of the Force Awakens. Like, not the Star Wars, right? Has just premiered on SYFY channel. And I didn't know about that. I'll be honest, I didn't know about it coming on SYFY channel because whenever SmackDown switched to USA, that was probably the last time I've seen the SYFY channel, believe it or not, you know. Because usually when I was watching that, at least they'd have like the updates on the movies coming out. And yeah, it's premiered tonight, just 8 o'clock. It just ended. And I'm here for a movie review. I was planning on the 3B Saloon review being the main video for tonight, but I'm going to put this on right now. I want to review it right after the premiere. Anyway, Sharknado 4 takes off right where the third one left off. And this one is even crazier. Probably the craziest of the series. And it starts off, they have like a big thing like they do on Star Wars. They said episode 4 and stuff like that. And it said that it's been 5 years since there's been a Sharknado. There's been this place called Astro X, and they have these astropods that have been eliminating all the Sharknadoes. And so Tommy Davidson decided to have something in Las Vegas called Shark World. It's the hotel, big hotel with sharks in all the rooms. And of course, our Sharknado forms and the shark pods can't work now. And of course, Finn Shepard is in Vegas with his family. And you see cameos from they have the Chippendales dancer. They say, hey, do you want to be a Chippendales dancer to him? And he said no. But he was a Chippendales dancer for a little bit. And there was like cameos right off the bat. Cheryl Tiegs, Carrot Top, Vince Neil, Dr. Drew, and more, and many more. And just in the first 10 minutes or so. And apparently, without doubt, a Sharknado forms. And then, a tornado forms, they hit Shark World, and all the sharks in the hotel. Like I said, this movie doesn't make a lot of sense. It's just goofy fun. Gets broken out of there, and it becomes a Sharknado, and they fight it, and it's it's all action throughout there. There's tornadoes. Like, someone had left a bad review of the movie saying it doesn't make a lot of sense. It really doesn't, but you just go with the flow in the movie and just enjoy the silliness of it. There are Sharknadoes, Sandnados, or Dust Devils, Bouldernados, Oilnados, Firenados, Lavonados, a Nuclear Nado, all this crazy stuff, and they all have sharks in it. It's really nuts. I don't want to give away a lot to it, but I mean, it does say that April lives. Because at the very end of the third one, they said you vote for whether April lives or April dies. And she's being kept alive from with Gary Busey through like a bionic woman type, or more like an Iron Man type thing, or she's like an Iron Woman. He said that she saved this kid later on in the movie. She said, "You know Iron Man?" I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, I'm his wife." So, and that's not true. She just said it for the kid. But I mean, it's really goofy. And then there's a scene where they go to get chainsaws, and Dog the Bounty Hunter's there. And right next to him is his wife, and that was Caroline Williams, who starred in the original 1986, the very first sequel that Cannon did for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And she said, "Here's my boy Hanson." But I mean, that wasn't Gunnar Hansen passed away. That was a nod to Leatherface, because Gunnar Hansen was the guy that first played Leatherface. This is the guy in a big smock. And they all had chainsaw. They ran on, and Dog the Bounty Hunter said that saw his family. Coing known Jim Cedar line from that, the second one. This is really a goofy movie. There's lots of nods to different movies, including Wizard of Oz, Christine. Oh, and there was other ones. I mean, it's just nuts. And there's a scene in Las Vegas with the Chippendales dancer, and the shark comes towards this one Chippendales dancer, and he goes like this. He hits the shark in the face with his crotch or something. It's really goofy, and they have some of the goofiest action sequences ever. It's so silly. But, I mean, if you go... I mean, there's people say, these Sharknado movies are stupid. Well, they're kind of stupid, but they're funny and a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed it. Better than last year's. The Sharknado 3, there was a scene, mostly Sharknado 3, it starts off really good, and then... most of the movie, a lot of the movie is like them walking around Universal Studios, kind of talking, waiting for something to happen, kind of. And that was really slowed down. All this is goofy action. A lot of it doesn't make sense. Someone left a bad review saying the movie stinks. It doesn't make any sense. Well, it doesn't really make. You don't really look for common sense in movies like this. It's just so bad. It's a good movie. If you want to put your brain on autopilot, just have some fun. And it's more action throughout the whole movie. There's like a slow spot, but it's still really good. Tommy Davidson's in the movie too, and of course, David Hasselhoff reprised his role. He's in there too, and there's nods to Baywatch, and then even Lloyd Kaufman is in there. And he says "Nuke 'em high," and he blasts the thing. That's the Lloyd Kaufman from Troma, and that's a nod to the Troma film. And Seth Rollins, the wrestler's in 2 scenes in it, and he said he was going to super kick the Sharknado. That was really cool. This is a lot of fun. Like I said, Cheryl Tiegs is in the movie too. And some of these people have bigger roles. A lot of the cameos are small roles. Gilbert Gottfried's in the movie. He's in there. A lot of Al Roker's in there. Samantha Guthrie's in there. It's a lot of fun. I thought it was better than Sharknado 3. It stays on land. There's a little bit in outer space, but it stays almost completely on Earth. It ends really abruptly. I don't want to give anything away, and then all of a sudden it cuts off to Van Helsing. I have to check the credits, and stuff like that. When I see it on Netflix, because on SYFY and stuff like that, they'll blast it like that, and you can't read nothing. But I really enjoyed this. I give this a full-on 10 out of 10 for Sharknado 4, The Force Awakens. I want to give a special thank you shout-out to Tony Talant for making a cool thumbnail, and he put Seth Rollins on there, cool, because he said Seth Rollins was going to be in the movie. I wasn't sure about that. And he put Seth Rollins in the thumbnail. He made a great thumbnail for Sharknado 4 for me. I want to thank Tony Talant very much. He's my good friend. And all of you are my good friends, too, for helping me out so much on my channel. It's been, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing, and I hope you like this review. Because some people say these movies are terrible, and, they fall in the category so bad they're good, and some people really hate them. But, it knows what it is. The first time it came out, no one expected it to be a hit movie. You know what I mean? And it blew up Twitter that night, and I saw it the next day because I didn't know it was on. There was no advertising for it at all. Then the second one came out a year later. I remember I was working night shift. I promised I would watch it on the day it debuted. I couldn't because I was working night shift, so I screwed up my whole thing. I did see it 2 weeks later, Sunday night. I watched it with my dad when he was still alive. This was back in summer 2014. He passed away in 2015. And we really liked it. My dad actually laughed or something. He said it was stupid, though. But he liked it. Judd Hirsch was in there and stuff. That was the second one. Sadly, he never got to see the third one. And then this one is all out, balls out action, even though it doesn't make a lot of sense. I'm not going to lie to you. But, it's just silly fun. And, if you've been following the Sharknado movies, you know what to expect. So that's my review. A full-on 10 out of 10 for the Sharknado 4. I thought it was much better than Sharknado 3. No real. There's a little slow spot when they're on the plane. This special plane but I didn't mind it. It wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? But there was lots of slow spots in part 3. It gets really nuts towards the end with them in outer space. But 10 out of 10 for Sharknado 4, The Fourth Awakens, with the Fourth Awakens. With a shout out to my buddy Tony Talant. So until next time, please take care of my legion.